Good morning, good day, good evening, no matter what time of day you are listening. How are you? Did you have a good weekend? Did you get to enjoy the sunshine and go for walks and relax and decompress for the weekday to come? Did you have a great Monday too? Today, yes, I had a good one as well. It was wonderful going out to the different hiking spots and then even try jogging for the first time. It took a lot out of me, and I did sleep in today, which was a little bit time crunch for me, but it did feel good to run a little bit in the familiar trails. Today's broadcast is Would You Ever Part 2. I figured may as well have something fun for the first day of the week. Okay, the first question is, would I learn to fish? Yes, maybe. It does sound relaxing and fun. If I went with someone who was an expert at fishing, I would have a lot of fun just relaxing and talking and seeing what type of fish are available on our very beautiful island. I know that fishing for commercial is not exactly what's big in North America, or at least on the island, but fishing for casualness is quite a fun thing, being on the island and being so close to the ocean. I like seeing the different marine life, like whales and then the jellyfish and seals up close. I haven't seen a whale up close yet, but I have seen sea otters and seals and crabs and sea urchins and jellyfish up close. I promise I did not touch one, because I'm not quite sure if it will sting. Would I go kayaking? If I was with an expert who knew how, yes, I would definitely go kayaking. Being on the water would be wonderful and relaxing. And I'd get more out of it than I would at a school camping trip, because I would know exactly how not to sit in the boat, and I would probably not fall into the water as often with an expert by my side. Would I do the polar bear swim? I'd go, but you have to promise me that you'll give me cocoa or something warm afterwards, before I headed home right away to take a nice hot bubble bath. The cold water, I would feel energetic and invigorated, and I think it was pretty nifty being in the water, but the cold wouldn't agree with me as much as a nice warm swim would. Though all year round on Vancouver Island, the water is not that warm in the ocean, so it's a give or take. Closer to Oak Bay, it's a little bit more warmer, but it's still super cold no matter what time of year you go. Would I go ice skating? Yes, I'll bundle up and very, very slowly, because my sense of balance would probably be not as good as if we were just watching the skating. I love ice skating on television. Figure skating is one of my favorites, and a lady I was dancing with used to be a professional judge for figure skating. It would always take the last couple of months of the year off to judge the competitions, and it was fun hearing all the stories that came with that. Would I go cliff jumping? Like May says, on a regular basis, I'd rather watch. Watching is fun. When I was in summer camp back when I was a kid, we were allowed to do cliff jumping, but I didn't even bother to try because the heights were not very nice. And they always say cliff jumping is pretty dangerous, so I would probably be better suited on the solid ground, being the emergency contact who phones if someone gets hurt. The view is nice from the top of the cliff if I am far away from the edge of the cliff, but otherwise, no. That's a big no. Would I try a Trust Your Chef tasting menu? I'm good with tasting menus. I've been a few times. They are very, very delicious. And it's fun seeing what the chef will choose. I've also been to a Trust Your Chef tasting platter challenge. It was pretty yummy. You just had to make sure to tell the waiter that what your food tolerance is. Me and this other lady said we don't want anything too spicy, and she said that she was allergic to peppers. So we were lucky enough that he listened and toned down the recipes for us, especially. There was a few peppers in mine, but I'm not allergic to peppers, so I'm sure they accommodated the other lady and that she was safe with her dishes. Trust Your Chef and tasting platters always showcase the culinary team's talent, which I like a lot. It's fun seeing what designs and what ingredients they'll use, and if they'll focus on one single dish ingredient for their tasting platter. I went to Curtis Stone's restaurant that he names after his grandparents, and his tasting platters focused on one seasonal ingredient at any given time back in the day, and it was super delicious. I was able to go in the first year, and it was super fun meeting my culinary hero and talking to him and meeting his wife. My mom knew the wife pretty well and was a big fan, so she was very, very pleased that we got there at a certain time where both our heroes were working and visiting that day. It was fun tasting his food up close and personal and giving opinions and letting him know how I enjoyed the ingredients, some of which I haven't tried before in my life. And he made it taste all delicious, so I was pretty lucky. Would I sleep in? A big no. I'm an A-type personality, and I usually try to plan out my day starting around 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, because I know that it takes me about a half an hour to get through any of the Twitter tweets that have been posted over the 7 or 8 hours. And I know that if I don't do my walk before 6:30, I won't get the walk done at all. And because I have to get everything done before 8 o'clock, because that's where my breakfast is. 7 o'clock is for my warm, hot bath. So I have to plan everything out by the hour as soon as I get up. The rest of the day is mostly free, so if I get everything done early, I have that benefit of being able to have freer moments during the day and relax. And I also have appointments usually after I breakfast, so I have to make sure I pace everything out accordingly. If 1 hour's out in the morning, it pushes everything else into a squeezed time frame. So, no, I'm not really one for sleeping in. Around 6 o'clock is my limit when it comes to sleeping in, because I can still at least get some stuff done before 7 o'clock if I get up at 6. But it's a big pinch for time, so I'm definitely have to get up around sunrise, around 4:30, 5 o'clock. And luckily, most Japanese streamers stream around that time, so I have something to wake me up right away, first thing in the morning, and have that little bit of company. I love love waking up to Watame-chan and Iroha and Koyori. They always make it super fun in the morning. Do I go jogging? That was the reason why I slept in today. I like the invigorating quality and the energy boosting power of a jog, and I tried mostly all the familiar routes, so the jogging felt nice on my bones. But I was super exhausted by the end of it, so technically, I don't know if the benefits outweigh the negatives or the negatives outweigh the benefits, but I will try to do a jog once or twice a week and see how that goes. And hopefully doing one jog versus two yesterday will make a difference in how much I sleep versus sleeping in and being super tired throughout the day afterwards. I managed to catch up with everything today, so there was no problem with that. It's just the time squeeze that got to me. Would I time travel? After watching DC Comics' version of time travel and all the books on time travel and all the different mayhem that happens with time travel, that would be a big no for me. Time travel comes with too many rules, and if I was going to go back, I wouldn't have to be able to talk to anyone and see anything substantial without changing something in the timeline. So, no. I like to read about it. History was one of my favorite subjects, and so was comparative civilization. So, give me a good book on the past, and I'll enjoy it. Yes, the future would be nice to see, but sometimes you don't want to know your future because it will drive you super crazy if you find out that you did not make it to the future. And we all see in movies that happen with that. The protagonist tends to lose his mind and wants to make it so none of that future ever happens. And I'm not really up to going crazy because of the future. Would I collaborate with people on streams like these? Yes. I may be introverted, but I'd love to work as a team with my colleagues and those who are more experienced in streaming or friends or something like that. It would make it fun, like a game and like a conversation between friends and family. I love doing my fair share and helping them out, and I'd hope that they would be helping me out at the same time. Then we can have a lot of fun that way. So yeah, I would collaborate. Would I travel alone? I've done it a few times to places that I've researched over the years. So I'm not too bad with traveling alone, especially if it's a dream location or if I want to see more of a location than my travel partners would. My family have come with me to different places, but most of the time they pick the places that we go to, like West Edmonton Mall or to all the different commerce places. I prefer the more laid-back local haunts and visiting all the nature parks or some of the more exotic food places. So going by myself is pretty much a nice thing for me. Or if going with a person that likes the same things as I do, that would make it the exception to the travel alone thing. Would I play Jump King or Getting Over It? That would be a big no. I've seen how hard the game is. I've seen how broken people can get. And I've seen how difficult it can be to keep your cool. And for me, I would definitely lose my cool after about half the game or half the level if I stayed on just the beginning stages of Jump King or Getting Over It. It would kind of drive me crazy. I would mold. I'd definitely mold or uninstall the game. Would I ever run out of VTubers? Absolutely not. There's always a new one every few weeks or a few months. Like Niji Sanji's even bringing out a new squad of ladies this week. So there's always something new to watch or to support. Even Asagi Mama and Momoko Mama are designing the new avatars for the new VTubers. So they have a few under their belt to design for. It's quite amazing. It's also neat to know that Fauna Ne-chan and Arya Ne-chan are going to be even bigger sisters to the newest VTuber Akari. And then Koyori is going to be a big sister too for her newest VTuber sister. Would I play cooking sims? Yeah, that would be a no, because after seeing a whole bunch of streams with the game and how difficult the controls are and how crazy the game can get, it's better to watch than actually play the game, because it might ruin the experience of cooking in real life, or it could make cooking in real life even more fun because you know that you're not timed or given different measurements that you probably are foreign to you, and you don't end up dropping food on the floor like you would for a cooking simulator. What would I do if I won the lottery? Would I ever win a lottery? That would be nice. I would definitely use the money to pay for my trip to Japan for maybe even a month. And all the different souvenirs and all the side trips I might be taking in Japan. I will be taking in Japan because I want to visit each prefecture. Once I finish my dream trip to Japan, I would buy, if there was any money left over, buy a tricycle and then get some more items for streaming. Maybe even get a bigger TV to watch on that can mount onto the wall. Mostly stuff that are practical and dream related. It would be fun to have that opportunity, and then I would donate much of the funds to charities as well, especially the David Foster Foundation, about all the organ transplants and things like that. He does such a good job with his music, but he also does equally as much of a good job with all his charitable work. And the nice thing is he's local too, so it's kind of a beautiful thing. And I'm kind of the same age as his wife, so which is another neat fact. So I kind of grew up on him in a way. And so did his wife, grew up with him. I know it sounds yabe, but if you fall in love with someone, you can't really choose who you fall in love with. It's just how fate goes. romantic in a way, kind of too, isn't it? Would I ever try to do a stream at a church or a church ground? Probably, if I have a good enough setup to do an outdoor stream in the comfy church garden. Like I said, I would love to do an outdoor stream, but it's all about whether I can carry all my gear with me, along with me to different places. Because it's not that light to carry my mic stand, my laptop, and everything with me at a regular basis. I can carry light things when I go traveling and around to all the different nature spots. And I find it comfortable to just talk about it when I get home. Would I go storm hunting? Not exactly, no. I'm not the type to chase a storm and try to see all the waves on a stormy day like some extreme surfers or extreme photographers that live on the island. It would be beautiful, mind you, but I'd rather see it from afar or somewhere safe. It's nicer that way. Would I do a hand cam stream or a review stream? I could do a review stream pretty well. Hand cam, from practical purposes, no. I would not do an unboxing either, because it's not always the most interesting thing to watch someone unbox something and then talk about each item. A review, people can understand a little bit more and would be able to tell what the items are because they're more commonplace. It doesn't really interest me to do too many of those as well. I wouldn't do much of a review stream or a hand cam or unboxing. I prefer to just enjoy it in that moment. Would I do a cooking stream, talking at the same time as my cooking? That's something to consider. It would be fun to talk about it and then discuss it and probably even post pictures of it on my Twitter account, which I hope you guys follow, because I always try to do retweets or quote tweets or talk about my what's so exciting in a picture on Twitter. I do put it on Instagram once in a while, but Twitter is my main because Instagram and Facebook have this thing about still images. They don't promote them very much unless you pay for it. So Twitter is the best place for us artists and photographers and even writers to congregate and talk about our work and connect to other creative types like VTubers and companies that do support VTubing and create new opportunities for VTubers and idols, and different shops even do their work on Twitter. In North America, I think that Instagram is good for creators and shops, but on the grand scheme of things, when you're doing research, those fast-paced ones like Instagram, Facebook, or even TikTok are more suited to videographer employees of said companies and stores. They have to know that there's people who do it by photo or word of mouth and support them too. Not that there is anything good about those platforms. It's just a little bit more harder to get a footing in the world on those type of video only type platforms. YouTube is good for videos, little radio broadcasts like this, and then they have the community tab for discussing things in text form, which means it's like the best of best of the worlds in a case basic format, because they have a good algorithm and you don't feel invisible to the world on YouTube. It's second to Twitter usually, globally, or in Japan as well. Japan people use Twitter and YouTube quite often, or Line. I try to use Line, but you have to make sure that you have people that you can talk to online to make it worthwhile. Unless you're using it to pay for Starbucks or keep up on news articles online. It's a really nice platform, but there are the whole difficulties about the types of things that you can actually post on their platform. It's the younger version of Twitter, if we can describe it as such. If I had more people to talk to online, yes, I'd use it more often and I'd reinstall it. Instead, I just use the Line camera app, which is really, really nice because you can put stickers and edit your photos quite nicely on that platform. And you can also make collages and paintings on it, which I superly enjoy. Would I try to open my own tea shop one of these days? I'm not an expert at tea, but I do know what I like to taste, so it would be a kind of a tea cafe type thing, where we can all get together and just chat, and then I'd leave the tea brewing and the ceremonies and decorations to the expert, while I give feedback on what I want definitely in my cafe. So no, I would not make a tea shop per se, but a tea cafe does sound interesting. This is sort of like a tea cafe where I'm talking to everybody here in a more intimate setting. And I'm also drinking English breakfast tea right now, so yeah, I would consider this a tea room of sorts. My starter up to owning my own cafe. In any case, I would also serve coffee just in case people want coffee or something a little bit more bitter. And I'd also serve sweets, Japanese sweets and European sweets. That way people can have a variety of choices, and then savories for lunches and brunches. Because we need more brunch restaurants around here nowadays. Most places are closing because of the economy, the pandemic, and because of the increase of crime. If I was going to make one, I'd try to make one in our neighborhood, because we used to have a cafe, but then it moved out. So I would definitely pick a place that we could all enjoy on a regular basis close by. And it's safer in our neighborhood to have a cafe like into that regard. What would I do when I had the cafe? I would definitely try to promote it on the platforms that enjoy still images, or hire someone who's an expert at videography to make one for me. And I'd also try to promote it here on the YouTube channel. It would be fun that way. And then if a VTuber or someone local came to visit the cafe, I'd be super happy that they made the trek over to try it. It'd be a dream to meet my heroines that I watch on a regular basis, like Kiara and then Ame and even Iris, if she travels to Canada one of these days to visit Crony and all the Canadian VTubers that are available on Nijisenji and here in Canada, Crony, who lives also on the West Coast like I do. It'd be nice. And it would give me an extra layer of inspiration more. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I'd appreciate the support. And please share this with your friends and loved ones. Thank you.